Hi, this is George from the Return of the King channel. The sun has set in Israel and the new moon has been officially sighted, so the Feast of Trumpets has officially begun in my estimation. During this Feast of Trumpets, I'm going to be looking for the rapture to occur sometime tomorrow. This is in Jerusalem now, Jerusalem time, on 9/28. And one of the reasons is because the moon is under the feet of the Virgin Virgo, just like it was in the Revelation 12 sign. If we go forward one more day, the moon is in the constellation of Libra, which represents judgment. And so the most likely time for me for the rapture to occur is going to be sometime tomorrow. And the Feast of Trumpets was originally a one-day feast, and it was made a two-day feast after the Jews were dispersed. And so this makes the most sense to me. And then when we look at the blood moons from the blood moon tetrad, we see that the last blood moon of the blood moon tetrad was on 9/28/15. And so if we add 7 years to that, it's 9/28/2022, which will be tomorrow in Jerusalem. And that's exactly 726 days to the Revelation 12 sign. The Revelation 12 sign reaches its fulfillment when the moon is under feet. The moon on 9/28/2022 tomorrow is going to be under the feet of Virgo, like we just saw. And so that's the time that I'm looking for the rapture. Sometime tomorrow, probably around sunset, or maybe that twinkling of an eye when the sun is just set and it's going from day to night. Now it's interesting because the moon in this blood moon tetrad, the moon is in the constellation of Virgo, the bride, and then the sun is in the constellation of Pisces, the Christian, half the time, and it alternates back and forth. Then the moon is in the constellation of the Christian, and the sun is in the constellation of the bride. And so it's basically going back and forth. The sun and moon alternate between the constellation of Pisces, representing the Christian, and the constellation of Virgo, representing the bride. And so you're really seeing this imagery here of Christ coming to get his bride. This is what this is about. He's going to come and get his bride before he passes judgment on the nation of Israel and the world. Blood moons represent the atonement of Christ. And those who are protected, those who are washed in his blood, those who believe in Jesus Christ as their Savior, do not go through the 7-year tribulation. And so those people are the ones who are going to get raptured out. So that's what we see here. And so this, again, is the time I'm looking on 9/28, sometime tomorrow for the rapture. It could be any time. It could be any time from now until then. I'm not looking at this, after the 29th because it goes in here. It could, but it's not my first choice. Now, if the rapture does not occur in this Feast of Trumpets, I'm going to be looking at the Feast of Tabernacles as the rapture, and you're going to see very strong imagery of the rapture on the Feast of Tabernacles, which occurs in 15 days from now. And what happens here is the moon is going to go into conjunction with Jupiter in the constellation of the Fishes 3 days prior to the Feast of Tabernacles. And so if you remember on Mount Sinai, before the Israelites went and met with God, and before Moses went up the mountain and God came down, they were given 3 days to prepare. And so this is like a 3-day warning that God is coming. When the moon then, on the third day, is going to be in the constellation of Aries, Tale, the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. He is going to take the fishes out of the sea. He's going to rescue them from the dragon before the tribulation begins. This here is Taurus, who represents Christ the Judge. The constellations read from right to left. And so you have the rapture here. The Lamb takes the fishes out. It's an escape from the dragon, and it's taken out before God pours out his wrath. And then you have the wedding here is with Gemini. And if we look at if we go from Aries to Cancer, it takes the moon 70 days to make that journey from Aries to Cancer. So you really have a really good story of the rapture on the Feast of Tabernacles. That being said, I'm not looking to the Feast of Tabernacles right now because we have such good imagery of the rapture occurring, and we have Paul who says it will be changed in the twinkling of an eye at the last trump. The basic understanding of that last trump is the Feast of Trumpets. Now, there's always a possibility that means something else. If we go back here on the day on Tabernacles on the religious holiday, it will be the last feast of the year. It starts with Passover, and then it ends on Tabernacles. So if the trumpet is blown here, it's on the religious calendar, it's the last. Jesus says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, so you'd have the beginning and the end, and so it starts on Passover and ends on Tabernacles. He was born in Tabernacles, Meetings with God occur when the moon is full. There's 3 feast days you have to meet with God. The moon is full. So there's all this imagery and stuff about tabernacles, but we'll talk about that if we're still here. Everything really in the world is really ripe for the tribulation to begin. We've got World War III knocking on our door. We see the mark of the beast through all the different things they want to inject into people's bodies. We see all that. We see the control. They want to go to digital currency, no buying or selling without basically the mark of the beast. So everything is here. And so if, like say again, if the rapture doesn't occur in the Feast of Trumpets, we'll be looking at at Tabernacles. And everything is still intact here. It's 5 years from the Revelation 12 sign. The age of grace is coming to an end. It's 7 years from this blood moon period. It's not exactly on the day, but it's on the day of feast. It's exactly 7 years to the day of the Feast of Trumpets. It's exactly 5 years from the Revelation 12 sign. The Feast of Trumpets then becomes a pointer. It's just one more confirmation, just like what we saw on the true date of Pentecost, the 15th day of the third month, the 15th of June. We saw all this massive convergence. And then we see another series of convergence here on the Feast of Trumpets, which is all about the rapture and the coming tribulation. And so then the rapture occurs 15 days later. And so that's what we're looking at if it shouldn't occur here. And we'll talk about that when that time comes. And so don't lose heart if we're still here afterwards. I mean, his coming, everything is here. It's a pre-tribulation rapture. It sure would be nice to go in the next 2 days. I hope to meet you all soon, very soon. Then, if not, I'll be looking towards Tabernacles as the day of the rapture, and I'll be doing some videos on that then. I hope this is it, because I'm kind of tired of making videos. I'd really like to get to heaven, get that new body, and just enjoy meeting with everyone and seeing the Lord and being in an environment that is really, truly our home. It's very clear to me, and I think most of you are watching this video, that Earth is not our home anymore in any way, shape, or form. And we're really seeing the powers of darkness rise up, and we're seeing what a world looks like without Jesus. And it is not good. It's bad. So anyhow, hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.